so I plopped on this new heater yesterday, and that is the only thing I changed. I did clean the sides. I did clean all the sides yesterday. You see this water, there's a little bit of salt buildup here. Denial. It's a long path.
The Pico bowl?
I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the traps we find ourselves in every now and then. Part of being an organism that has the ability to create, to communicate, to understand our place in the grand scheme of things is that we can admit and learn from our faults. The ego is real, and I'm not immune to its traps. I feel it's just a part of human nature. So walk with me for a minute. Let's see if we can figure out where I went wrong. Alright, so I plopped on this new heater yesterday because it has a smaller profile in here. It's a tiny little 10 watt. And that is the only thing I changed on this little Pico Reef. And the water is cloudy. I've taken the temperature with my trusty little thermometer, cooking thermometer, and everything's good. So I don't know if that little heater is leaking something, but the water is like super, super cloudy and kind of dirty. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on. What I'm going to do here, I'm not going to panic because it's a small amount of coral, but I'm kind of panicking. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights on prematurely, and we'll see if anything perks up. And I might end up picking out a lot of these. Oh, you saw the light's already coming on anyway. It's the scheduled time for it to come on. So I might as well just put that back on there and let them come on naturally. And I don't think anything can happen, and I hope in the next hour, but we'll see how it turns out. And if it's not looking good, I'm going to plop it back in the main display. I'm going to take all those corals out of there and pop them in the main display. What I might do between now and then is a 50% water change, just because that water is so nasty. I did clean the sides. I did clean all the sides yesterday. You see this water, there's a little bit of salt buildup here. And the other thing I did do, come to think of it, is I lowered the bubbles. Yeah, I don't know what else I can do there. I'm going to do 50% water change. I'm going to try and save it at, oh, look, they're coming on anyway. All right, we can't see anything because I don't have the proper lens on there. But stuff is still alive in there, and we're going to see if it comes back to life or not in the next half hour or so. All right, so I did a 50% water change, and things are not looking much better. The LPS is doing pretty good, you know, the mushrooms, candy cane coral, that's not too bad. But my Xenia is almost toast. I don't know if you can see it there, it's not really, it's kind of blurry. And then the small ones back here, which you really can't see them, and I took the other light off, so we're not really going to get a good look at it, but it's kind of going still, but it's really receded. I'm definitely going to take the Monty out of there and put it back in the main display. I don't think any more water changes are going to save it. I'm going to, if all I had was this Pico tank and I did not have a large display, I'm not sure what I would do. I think I might do another water change right about now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Xenia out of here because it does not look like it's recovering, and it might just melt completely. Actually, I don't think I want to put it back in the main display. I've got plenty of it in there. I don't need to save it. But that Monty back there, my Jedi, no, that was doing so well.
I feel like I'm kind of sounding like one of those people on the forums where I'm sitting here telling you my parameters and thinking that I'm justifying everything that I've done and not really owning up to the problem that's staring me right in the face. I just can't believe how clear it was. But you know, you're in the moment, you're kind of panicking, your ego sets in, and you don't really think you've done anything wrong. And well, part of what happened, you'll see in this next picture here. I even pointed out as I'm talking in the video. See the salt creep? That is the #1 big clue for this tiny little less than a gallon Pico Reef. That is a lot of salt. And yeah, there's more off the backside that I really wasn't paying attention to. I had been on vacation, you know, visiting family and over the holidays. Came back, the water had dropped down maybe about an inch, inch and a half, and so knowing it's salt water and it's evaporation, of course, what do? I top it off with some RODI water, and lo and behold, you guessed it, my salinity was lowered because salt actually creeped out because of the bubble filter, my sponge filter, that bubbler, the darn thing. I love it, but I don't think it was meant for a little Pico Reef. Here's another angle here. You can kind of see the salt around the side and creeping up and over the edges there. Oh, and here's a really good picture, which is still part of the video. You see it highlighted there. It's the only thing on the rim that's like pink, purple, whatever color that is. But that was the big culprit. It also was the heater. The heater, the new heater that I put in, even though I set it at the same temperature, it was not actually the same temperature. So the temperature got lowered and the salinity was down, and that killed one of my NEMs, and I couldn't find it. Luckily, I have the large tank, and I was able to take everything out of here, and I put it in the large display, and everything's doing really well. I did lose one anemone and the Xenia, but you know, I'll live with the Xenia. That NEM though, that was a beautiful NEM, and man, that really bites. But so yeah, luckily I had another tank that I was able to plop everything into, and on the offset, that was one of the things that gave me confidence, and I'm glad I had it. And well, I move on. Bubble filter no longer.
As you can see, I've gone ahead and restarted the Pico Bowl. I've gone ahead and restarted the Pico Bowl. I'm using the same sand that was in the bowl. All I did was dump all the, well, I took all the corals out, put them back in the main display, and then I just dumped all the water out. I didn't wash the sand, I just refilled it, so it probably had a lot of gunk in there. I let it sit just with sand and the pump. Oh, that's the other thing. I've just got a regular AC pump on there. It's plugs right in to the standard 110 outlet. You can get these on Amazon, I think like 2 for $7.50 or something like that. I plan on connecting this little bad boy to it. This is an AC regulator. You can regulate the sine wave. You can manipulate the sine wave to speed it up and slow it down, and it also regulates the voltage. So we'll see if that works. Because when I first turn this on in there, it just blasts the water everywhere and the sand everywhere. So the other thing that I've done, I've printed this out. This is, I can't take it off. This was for a different contraption that I made that I was pulling down water, doing like a little surface skimming action. Another DIY project, blah. So anyway, all that's in there is just this pump right here that sends water out that way, and in the top I have like a little filter floss that I've wrapped around the pump. And so it's basically just taking the water, passing it through the filter floss, and circulating the water. You can see the GSP that's in there, and that's all that's going to be in there until I can prove to myself that my husbandry skills are up to par. I'm going to probably do a lot more testing. I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to, I can see I already have, I've had this up and running for a month. This was over Thanksgiving that happened. So this is probably a month and a half, right? Because we're in January already. So it's doing pretty well. GSP is doing pretty good. I've been running into issues cleaning it. There's still a little bit of salt that happens up there. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. I've gone ahead and made sure that this is on there a little bit tighter than it was. I cut it into a circle. And I've made the hole smaller that the cords come out of. I think if I go on vacation again, even if it's only for a week, I think I'm going to take everything out of here, put it in the main display, and then just run the pump with just the live sand in there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Spicy Reef here, signing off.
Now what are you doing?
I think I got it.
How do you know if it's up or down?
I was wondering why that ball kept getting bigger, and then it hit me. That's awesome.
Like so bad. Yeah.